Welcome to the Warband, a World of Warcraft podcast. I am your host, Swaglock, and with me today, as always, our other host, Chicken. Dude, Chicken, what is up?
What's going on, baby? You got that early morning voice, so I'll actually welcome everyone in. Welcome to the Warband's podcast, a World of Warcraft podcast about a podcast that is a podcast about World of Warcraft podcast. How is it going? Let's get right into it. Swaggy, time for you to wake up, brother. How was your week?
Dude, the way you intro just reminded me of like back in, it was like 2006 maybe, or 2005, No, it would have been around the release of the Burning Crusade. So like early 2000s, they had this Onion, like the website The Onion, fake news, like the fake news website. Yeah. So they had a video they put out about like a sequel to World of Warcraft that was coming out. And it was called World of Warcraft. And the whole premise of the video was that this game, you played as somebody who was playing World of Warcraft. So, like, every time you would press a key on your keyboard, your character in the game would press that key on their keyboard, causing their character in the game they're playing, World of Warcraft, to actually do something. And so, sorry, the reason why you remind me of it, though, is like because they would keep doing it, be like, World of Warcraft. And so the way you just kept saying a podcast about World of Warcraft or whatever, it was just funny to me, reminding me of that.
Here at the Blizzard Entertainment offices, creators say they couldn't be any more excited about the new expansion pack, World of Warcraft.
It's a classic video. It's so funny. If you haven't ever looked it up, look up Onion World of Warcraft or whatever, and it should come up.
I'll have to look it up.
It's really funny.
It's got to be on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, dude, it's really funny.
I'll have to look it up, dude. Those fake news sources are crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the one now? Is it called the Beehive?
The Babylon Bee is another one.
Yeah, the Babylon Bee, dude. Crazy.
Another satirical website. Dude, we need we need like a satirical WoW news site. Right?
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be kind of cool.
Something to just like get Twitter up in arms every single week.
Yeah, no, it would be called hold on. I don't know what it would be called, but like I can already see like a headline, one button rotation is now, bringing method into the top spot in
Race
to World first, and bro,
yeah, one button is meta for rating. You would call it like you could call the website the Hogger. The Hogger would be a good news website.
The Hogger, yeah, I do kind of like that, actually.
Yeah, a good satirical news website for World of Warcraft, right? Just making like the absolute like worst posts, right? Like Blizzard creates new race with 8,000 customization options, but also removed customization options from Blood Elves in order to do so.
Dude, it would be, oh my god. Like imagine the Bard class coming in, but not the one you wanted.
Not the one you wanted. Dude,
like stuff like that.
Blizzard adds Bard class to game with 3 brand new classes: Mumble Rap, Xylophone, and Children's Storybook Reader. And those are like with the 3 specs. So the 3 specs for
that's pretty good
for a bard. But dude, I've been playing a bard. Sorry, I know we're off topic. Well, no, we're not too far. I've been playing a bard for D&D lately, and we're even doing like a weekend getaway, like one-off D&D session coming up in January.
Really?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool,
dude. It is. I'm really thankful, dude. Like they just like reached out, like, hey, you guys, you want to come on this like weekend to a snowy cabin, like. We're doing like this whole campaign for the weekend. Everything's paid for, and you just have to show up. I'm like, yeah.
You're like,
yeah, I'll do that.
Like,
I'll do that.
Why wouldn't I want to do that, dude? It's kind of.
But they asked me to play a bard again, which is why that was coming up. I'm in a point right now playing a bard now twice in D&D thing through it that I'd be like, yeah, it's about time for one for WoW. Before anybody says anything, I don't want Sylvanas to be how they introduce bards. Okay, I know we've had that talk before.
We definitely have.
I don't want it to be her. I want literally anyone else. I like Sylvanas a lot. Sylvanas is still one of my favorite characters, even though they did her dirty in BFA and Shadowlands. But I definitely...
But she can't be the bard.
No.
She just can't do it.
No. And I know she has musical ability.
Wow.
And there's some leaks out right now regarding that for the next patch. I don't know if we want to talk about... I don't know. I never seem to care about talking about leaks. I mean, care in the sense where I never try to avoid them. Like you're consuming a WoW podcast. At this point, you just want any WoW info you can get.
That's true. Yeah. No, that would be kind of like be a throw, because I feel like Sylvanas is bad, and to have that, like, that would just be weird. Like, I don't know. Like, she's just like this. Oh, like I'm the best of the best, and then like next thing you know, she's just like, actually, I enjoy a harmonic tune on my flute.
So,
and you're just like, whoa.
Well, so
whoa.
Okay, so a little bit of spoilers. A little bit of spoilers for 11.2.7. I don't think we have audio for it. I think we only have the video for it. It's not even like totally done, maybe.
Okay.
But there is like an in-game cinematic, so like the ones that like use your character and stuff. Mm-hmm. There is an in-game cinematic where you go into the mall with Erator in next patch, and you find Sylvanas sitting there playing a lute.
Oh, you did. We did talk about that. That's right. Yeah, we talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago.
Or was it a lyre? She's playing a lyre. Sorry, she's playing a lyre. I mean, backwards.
Come on. She's playing like some like instrument that you're like, this is what a bard would play.
She's like singing.
I didn't like it.
She's singing a song while she's sitting there.
And you're just like, whoa.
Now, granted, I'm not like shocked, because we know we've had like musical elements related to Sylvanas in the past, right? So that's not a surprise. And we know her family was musical, right? Her brother for sure definitely was. And so I think her brother even like went to like bard school, even potentially. I don't remember.
Oh wow. Bard school.
Yeah. So and so we know those elements exist. We know that's like a legit thing. And by the way, you'll meet her brother in the new expansion. He's dead, but you do meet his ghost.
Whoa.
So you meet his ghost at least.
Spoilers.
Well, the dead part's been around forever. That was in not forever. That was in the Sylvanas book that came out like a couple years ago. Yeah. But anyways, the reason why though I'm like, I don't want to see her be the bard is because one, she's a great Dark Ranger, and I like that being her identity. Right? The Dark Ranger is like such a cool thing. I don't want to lose that. Two, there's something about bards. I don't like what makes a bard so wonderful, I think, is sometimes like the whimsicalness of them, and kind of they're charismatic but kind of goofy. Not unserious, but just they're bards, right? They're bards.
Yeah.
And they're more like creatives, right? And I want whoever, if they bring a bard class into WoW, I want whoever plays that like introductory role to that class to be somebody who like sets the pace and the example for how that class is going to forever be, right? If the first bard we meet is Sylvanas Windrunner, that just doesn't set a good pace for what a bard is,
like the actual class. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that's like a far-fetched thing to ask. Like we want I mean, to like a similar aspect, like what's his name, the Death Knight, oh my goodness, the Lich King, what's his real name though?
Arthas Menethil.
Arthas. Like you see him and you're just like, whoa, this guy's like, dude, he's like the coolest dude. Like he's straight out of like Compton basically.
He's a great example, right? Like you want that, right? Like Arthas is like the coolest.
Like when you play a Death Knight, that's what you think of, right?
Yeah, right. Arthas is like the coolest ever. Like, I want to be like him. Wait, I can make a Death Knight. That's awesome. Let's go, right? Yeah. You have Illidan Stormrage, right? For years, people wanted Demon Hunters just because Illidan was so freaking cool, but he was the only one. And so Blizzard, back when Legion came out, had to come up with a way for the lore to explain why there were more demon hunters, even though we didn't really know there were more demon hunters, right? I think there was one dude, though, back in Burning Crusade who was a demon hunter, just kind of on his own. So we knew that there could have been more demon hunters, but we just never had access to enough to make them playable, right? Yeah. But Illidan, anyways, Illidan was like the coolest dude, right? You meet a guy like Rexxar, right? And a lot of these characters, by the way, were Warcraft characters, not World of Warcraft characters, right? So Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, predominantly 2 and 3. I don't think there were any seriously like heavily named characters in Warcraft 1. I'm not too familiar with. I know lore. I'm just not familiar with the gameplay elements of Warcraft 1. But anyways, right, you had Rexxar, who was like just the coolest dude, right? And so when you could finally play a Beastmaster Hunter, you wanted to be like Rexxar, right? Like that was who you wanted to be. You wanted to be Rexxar with your wild beasts walking around with you, like hunting down prey. You know, I'm trying to think like other just like really cool. Like you had Medivh and Khadgar, right, for mages. You had Gul'dan for warlocks, right? Like you had these guys like Thrall, right, as a shaman, right? And now you could be like an element or an enhancement shaman, just like Thrall was. You know, you had all these characters in lore. Even when they introduced new, brand new classes, right? So the monks, right? Well, even the monks though, you had Chen Stormstout, who I think was Warcraft 3, or I think 3, right? Chen Stormstout. Who was really just like an April Fool's character, or not April. Yeah, he was. He was like an April Fool's character that they added to the game, and then they just kind of kept him there. The Kung Fu Panda, right? Yeah, and I
mean, it kind of worked out.
Yeah, the only one that kind of doesn't have that would probably be the Drakthir, right? The Drakthir don't have that like iconic character behind them. You know, like even the Druids, right, have Malfurion, right? But the Drakthir, I think, get away with it because
they sort of do, right?
The Drakthir have the dragon aspects. Right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So it's not truly their class, but they have, right, like you watch the dragons, you're like, the dragons are so cool. They're so cool. And then the game is like, well, guess what? Now you can use some of the abilities that the dragon aspects have, right? And so even to a degree, right, the Drakthir, while they don't have that like champion that you can be just like, they do have, right, like you're mimicking, kind of like how a Death Knight truly isn't really as strong as the Lich King was, and how like a normal Demon Hunter definitely isn't as strong as like Illidan was, right? Kind of in that same regard. But I digress. All I'm saying though is if we introduce bards, I want there to just be someone cool that we're looking at, like, wow, this guy's awesome. I want to be able to play as one of those one day.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because even if they added like a Tinker class, sorry, we're off on tangent. Even if they added like a Tinker class to the game, dude, like King Mechatork easily represents the Tinkers so well, right? Like if King Mechatork isn't a Tinker, then what the junk is he? Because every time we see that dude fighting, he's just in like a robot suit, right? Like there's no class. He is no class, right?
Yeah, he would have to be a Tinker at that point. Like I don't know what else he could be.
Yeah.
Like
a bum, I guess maybe. I don't know.
A bum, yeah. Like I don't know.
Just sitting in his robot letting it do all the work. But
I don't think that's how it works, but okay.
No, that's not how it works.
That's definitely not how it works.
No,
but I'll let you have that one because it's still early. You're still waking up.
I am.
So I'll give you that one.
I like how every episode we sit down. Like literally this episode, we're like, okay, what the heck are we talking about? Oh, well, we'll figure it out. And then this is what we end up talking about, right?
Well, I kind of blame you for that. A little bit. Not a lot. Not a lot. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Because you love to talk about lore, and I do not. And
okay,
I feel
I'm
like
thinking
you take these segues and you just run with them. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Hey.
Chat.
I'm okay with that.
Chat, I have this idea, and I want to let you all vote on it. If you're in our Discord, leave a comment in Discord and let me know if you do or do not want this. If you listen on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave a comment on that platform. or you can just do the fan mail option. You'll see in the description. There's a link where you can text in. But
True.
I want to hear your thoughts, chat, on this one. I think it'd be an awesome idea, maybe even to do it before major patches, but for sure before this upcoming expansion, at some time before midnight. I think it'd be sick to do a lore episode with Chicken, interactive, so it's not just swag ranting the whole time, but an actual interactive with Chicken lore episode, getting him up to speed with everything he needs to know going into midnight.
Bro, the first one's going to be terribly difficult.
What do you mean?
Like, there's so much, is there not? Like, we're
yeah,
talking
but I can hit the core.
Like, you're gonna
things.
just like summarize, I guess.
Yeah, the core things for this expansion. Who are the main characters at play? Like, do you know who Erator is?
What?
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. No clue.
What?
Yeah,
no
clue.
I don't.
Right, but he's about to be a major character in the new expansion, and you don't even know who he is.
Sorry.
You're
Sorry,
gonna see this. You're gonna see this
stuff.
You're gonna see this blood elf running around with like a little mohawk-looking mullet haircut thing, and tattoos on his face. And you're like, who is this guy?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, just please let me just get your dragon scales for you, and then I'll leave.
Yep. So,
like, I'll get your dragon scales for you, bro, and then I'm out.
Well, I think he's about to take you to the mall to find Sylvanas. So.
Oh no.
So
no.
Right before somebody convinces you to go to the mall, you probably want to know who they are.
Fair.
Yeah.
He better not. He better not take me to the mall.
Yeah. Just spoiler for that episode, because I can't help it. He is the half elf, half human son of Turalian and Illyria.
Yeah, whose secret name is the Jailer. I'm just stop.
Actually,
just
so
stop.
technically on Azeroth is multiversal. So on Azeroth 87, Illyria does become the Jailer.
Stop.
In the WoW comics.
Azeroth 87.
In the Ultimate Warcraft comic series.
Imagine if there was an Azeroth 87.
I'm making that up. But there are multiple universes.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, but we don't really talk about that anymore because that was kind of a mistake.
That was a mistake.
Yeah,
kind of sounds like a mistake, to be honest.
Yeah, we had a character one time, Garrosh, who decided he wanted to make a new horde because he was upset that the old horde kicked him out because he went power crazy. So he then goes and kidnaps a not kidnaps a bronze dragon. He works with a bronze dragon. And the bronze dragon takes him to an alternate Draenor, where he can find more orcs, and he forms a whole new army of orcs to come back to the main universe, Azeroth, to try and fight everybody.
Huh.
And so for an entire expansion, we just went to an alternate universe.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun, to be honest. I mean, maybe a little bit, but
the leveling was really good. The leveling was kind of really good.
Interesting.
And it was the closest to player housing we ever got until now. So.
Oh yeah. Well, until now.
Till now. So let's go.
Until now.
Dude, have you?
Segway.
Did you do the PTR testing for player housing?
No, I didn't.
Ooh, I was watching. Because it looks fun, dude.
It's going on like right now.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's only lasting 24 hours, so it's probably just about over. Originally, it was going to be 4 days, and then they said 24 hours, and people got upset. They were like, "What do you mean 24 hours? You told us 4 days. We're going to have 4 days." Well, first of all, you're going to have all the player housing you ever want when Midnight comes out, right? So all the player housing you ever want will come out eventually. 2, I just don't think the servers are meant to handle it right now. I really if you look at the testing servers, they're constantly crashing. People are constantly getting kicked out. It's just a lot. There's a lot. And I think Blizzard realized, and it's why they postponed the test. I think they started the test and said, wait a second. We absolutely need to figure out the server issue, and that's the priority. So they probably just said, we're going to do a 24-hour test and just let people crash like crazy. Just let them crash. I mean, I even saw, I thought I screenshot it, but maybe I didn't screenshot it. Oh yeah, I did. I posted in my Discord. Even like an employee from WoW was posting on Twitter just saying, we're getting some very valuable crash reports and server data from this PTR housing test. It's a bit unstable right now, but that's still very helpful, so thank you. Right? Ultimately, they're just saying like, hey, we know it's crashing a lot, but that's kind of what we need right now. Like we
that's the goal, right?
Right? Like we need to know why it's crashing, and everybody else is going into player housing, going like, I just want to see if the houses work. And Blizzard's over here like, yo, we just want to make sure that the servers will work, right? Like forget the housing.
I mean, it's a big deal, right?
Right. Which I think is good to see. It's good to see that happening, and I'm excited to see where things go with that. I wonder if we'll see another PTR test pop up with player housing 100%, later.
100%. If not like 3 PTRs.
I suspect they'll test it one more. I suspect they'll test it at least one more time.
Is probably accurate.
Once they get the server issues fixed, right? Once they're confident that the servers can handle all the PTR testing. Or they
think they have the servers fixed, then they'll want to test them again to make sure they actually have them fixed.
I would also say this is probably one of the bigger, like this past 24 hours is probably one of the bigger PTR tests Blizzard's ever seen, because people are itching.
It's probably the biggest.
Are itching to try player housing, right? And I know people like testing out like the new dungeons on PTR and checking out like the new zone, if there's like a new zone for
but that's really like only like hardcore players, right?
Content creators, people who really like to send feedback on testing, and players
like
who are
people
trying
that are
to
just bored right now with the base game.
Or
because they've already done like plus 20s and they've already pushed like cutting edge like 5 times.
Or world first guilds who are practicing in Torghast so that they can actually do hard mode. When it comes out, right? But so player housing is being tested as we speak. I think it's towards its end right now, though. But I'm glad that it's cool that like this is just getting closer and closer, because I feel like player housing was teased so long ago, and just now, like finally now we're getting the response for that of like, okay, it's actually happening, it's actually coming out, like things are moving now, which is cool, I think.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. I'm excited for it. To be honest, I think it's just going to be one of those game modes that I play for a little bit and then kind of in between, maybe, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. I don't know. I might be wrong, bro, but I found myself easily sinking so much time into player housing, just creating a cool house. Not that, like, you're going to make... Like, I know you well enough to know that you're probably not going in every day and tweaking your player housing, and you're probably not going crazy out of your way to collect things for your player housing.
Depending on how cool it is and how easy it is, I might venture around and get some stuff, but like I'm not gonna like do like, oh, I gotta do like lore master for BFA to get like this cool boat. I'm like, no thanks. Thanks.
But what I can see for you though is I can see especially your initial setup. Like when you initially go in, I suspect you'll probably create something you're really excited about, and then just like leave it, right? You're like, all right, I created, perfected my house, moving on.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you're coming from the same guy, or you're coming from the guy that's literally like used the same MOG for like the past like 3 years.
That's true. He has, chat. He picked up one MOG in Shadowlands and has never changed.
I mean, outside of like my specs, because I'm like, oh, this would be kind of cool if I like did different specs,
He uses the blue helm for Frost, the red helm for Blood, and the green helm for Unholy.
That is actually kind of a cool idea, but I don't do that.
It would be sick. Do they even have like a red one of that? The Shadowlands? I don't know. No clue. They should. It would look amazing.
Let me check. I have the game open right now, as I always do, just in case I need to check something.
Oh, that's smart. That's wisdom right there.
And I don't believe they do. Oh no, it's all of them are blue. It's just like the design of like the actual like
like the metal and stuff.
Like the metal is different colors. So like some are silver with like green bandages, some are like bronze or gold with like darker color bandages.
Yeah. For anybody wondering, we're talking about the like season 3 questing helms, I think, right? That you get for plate wearers.
Yes.
Yep. Where it's got the broker kind of head flame thing going on. Yeah, those were cool though. Dude, I put a broker outfit together when the current patch came out, 11.2.
It's probably your favorite one.
I put a broker outfit together because it was just fun running around with that look while I was in Koresh. That was really cool.
Yeah, dude, it's probably your favorite MOG you've ever done ever.
I've got some mogs I really like.
No,
yeah. I got my shovel mog. I literally just my Death Knight just runs around with a pair of pants and a shovel, and that's like it. That's like it.
I mean, it works, right?
Dude, it's iconic. Well, the problem is it's like iconic and it's memorable and everybody in the guild knows it. And like even like I saw somebody making AI art of our guild doing stuff the other day, like our HOA stuff, and in it was me. Like right, you see a night elf running around with a shovel, right? And I'm like, yep, that's me. There I am, right there, right. It wasn't like accidental. It was very, very intentional.
Hey, that's very misclicky because you are not a night elf this season. I'm boycotting that.
Yeah, technically right now I'm playing a Draenei Shaman, but I'll probably go back to my Death Knight. I'll probably go back to my Death Knight next season. The problem is those right now in Remix I'm playing a Tauren Death Knight, and I'm kind of enjoying that. And I'm like going back and forth of like, do I make my Death Knight a Tauren now and give him a giant totem to run around with, which it looks sick. It looks amazing running around whacking people with this giant totem. But then I'm also like, yeah, but the shovel night elf is iconic. Can I really take that away from people?
It is pretty iconic, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
It's a good one, dude. Like, you should really consider like asking Blizzard to just name a shovel after you. Like, seriously, like reach out to Blizzard and say, hey, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person that ever uses a shovel mog. I get it. Like, I hear it all the time. It's okay. I need you to name it after me and call it the swag shovel.
The swag shovel. They did add in a bunch of shovels this expansion. Remember, there's some like some polearm shovels.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they actually added like the polearm shovels in. I use the old like classic model like basic farm shovel, just because it's funny. But yeah, if anybody from Blizzard's listening to the podcast and you want to help me out by putting a shovel in the game, please do. That would be amazing. I would love you forever. But yeah.
So yeah, what is going on in the World of Warcraft? What did you get to this weekend? I know we're still on our long-winded tangent that we always do, but what did your week look like?
My week in World of Warcraft has been pretty much just Legion, dude. I've been playing lots of Legion. Well, because every time I log in, I'm just like, and I say lots of Legion, but I'm only like level 65 now. But it feels like lots to me because this week has been crazy with work. So I worked late Monday, late Tuesday, late Wednesday. I didn't go into work on yesterday. And my wife was like, "Oh, you're taking the day off?" I'm like, "No, I'm just not going." And she's like, "I don't know what the difference is." And I was like, "The difference is I'm not taking the day off. I know I worked extra Monday, worked extra Tuesday, worked extra Wednesday. And then I also know that today, normally Friday, Saturday, my day's off, but we have like a weekend event. And so I'm doing music for that. And so like later this afternoon, I got to head out. I'll be gone for the weekend. So packing up guitars and heading out for the weekend to do that. So I'm like, I'm just not going in on Thursday. And so I stayed home. My wife works from home on Thursday, so I had to keep it down a little bit, had to be a little bit quieter. So I just went and played Legion for like 4 hours or something. It was fun. I had a good time. But I've just been slipping in a little Legion play here and there. My leveling, though, I feel like the higher my level is, the faster I'm leveling, which is an odd feeling. But like now it feels like I'm speeding up quite a bit. Like if I could game today, I'd be 80 so fast. But it's been really fun. Yeah, it's been really fun. Legion's been a nice change of pace from like the normal WoW stuff. It's been fun collecting like transmogs and mounts and things, and just the power scaling is fun. Like it just feels like you're constantly being rewarded, right? Like I'm constantly like, especially while you're leveling right now, right? You're picking out talents the whole time, which is always good.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm also getting the infinite power, right? So then I'm like applying that, and I'm getting things I can put on my weapon to raise my weapon eye level, and I'm just constantly getting tons of new gear all the time that I'm like equipping and checking through. So it's just like constant dopamine. Like I'm just constantly being rewarded the whole time of like, oh, more power, more power, more power. Wow, I can choose things. There's cool stuff going on. So there's something really enjoyable about that. Is it long-term sustainable? No. And we're gonna have a question later where we'll probably go into that a little bit from a commenter about like why I think most of the remix stuff just would never work in normal WoW, because it only works in a temporary game mode. But man, it is a nice reprieve from WoW, and just different. It's just fun and different. But I'm also itching to get back into like normal retail stuff and actually like knock out these dungeons. So once this weekend's over, I know we have like the full turbo boost stuff happening. I'm just gonna like, dude, I'm gonna try and reach out to some people. We got some listeners I like running keys with. We got some guildies I like running keys with, and I'm just gonna be like, yo guys, I want to get Keystone Legend before the season's over. Like, we're doing this. I'm not doing what I did on my DK where I took a break and then was too nervous to come back. I'm just getting it done. I'm getting it done. I don't know, man. I want to get Keystone Legend. I want to prove that I can do it, right? And everybody's always asking me like, Swag, how's your Keystone Legend journey going? And I'm like, I was too nervous, so I didn't do any.
My Keystone Legend journey is dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down to try to help you with that. Yeah, I haven't given up on it. I'm like 99.99999999999% given up on it, but
not entirely though. There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
Yeah, still a chance.
Still a chance, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
So we'll see. I just don't like. My problem is time. I just don't have a lot of time, but it's will over time always prevails. So if you got the will to do it, man, you'll find the time.
That makes sense. Chicken, have you played any Legion remix?
Yeah. So I haven't played like too much. I've only played a couple hours, and I think I'm like around level 30-ish, 35 maybe.
Oh wow, that's not too bad. Did you have fun with it?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where like it felt kind of weird leveling. So I kind of took a break, and then now, my goal is, hey, I'll probably play it a little bit more this weekend. Just because I'm in like a weird zone where like I've been playing a lot in the mornings.
Okay.
And there's just not people on in the mornings in retail. Yeah. So I'm literally playing, what's it called?
Remix?
No, I'm literally doing delves.
Delves. Oh, wow.
Morning. Yeah.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, dude. I think like,
dude, our Discord keeps warning us, man. We got listeners from the podcast on Discord. We're always like, dude, just wait. They're gonna get you. As life gets busier with kids and whatnot, delves suddenly become way more desirable.
Yeah, it's not that. I'm really trying to get like the delves, like Glory of the Delver achievement, so that I can cross it off for like the War Within Lore Master. So yeah, it. Although I will admit, like doing the delves in that like aspect and that mindset has made me found like a new appreciation for them, and like the actual like time that they put into delves is like actually kind of incredible. And they're still not my favorite thing to do, but I have a newfound love for them, so they're not bad.
No, that's awesome.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, no, dude, totally understand. Dude, you're literally doing time running right now. You're in remix right now. What the heck are you talking about?
No, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about.
This dude's over here like, I'm not really. I'm doing delves. I'm not really doing.
Dude, I'm always
Legion
bro. I
remix.
Always have. Dude, I always have WoW pulled up just in case.
I haven't played Legion remix. I'm not playing. Here he is queued up right now to do time running dungeons.
No, I'm not, dude. I'm always pulled WoW up just in case I need
my
to do
quick
something.
join option right now.
I don't believe it. I don't believe it one bit. Anyways.
You declined my invite. Are you playing
I
a Death
don't know
Knight?
what you're talking about, dude. I'm just trying to play.
Are you playing a Death Knight right now on Remix?
Yeah.
Dude, you already have a Death Knight. Why are you making another one?
So this was my other thing, and we talked about this for a hot minute, but we didn't.
What's the point of playing a Death Knight if you already have one?
So we did talk about this for a hot minute last week, and I said I started on what's it called, and then I was like, okay, here's the thing. I was playing a Demon Hunter when I first started, and then I was like, I just don't want to relearn, or not that I don't want to relearn. Excuse me, sorry, I had to burp too.
No, you're good.
I don't want to learn a new spec as well as kind of just trying to go through content that, I don't have anything against questing. It's just not my favorite. So I was like, I don't really want to learn a new spec and also do things that I don't really want to do, which is questing. So I was like, I think it makes sense for me to just play a character that I already know how to play. I'm playing Frost. I'm not playing Blood.
Okay.
So that kind of adds like a little bit of flavor on it. It's like, okay, like I'm not technically playing what's it called, but I'm technically playing what's it called, DK.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things of just it felt better to do a class that I already knew.
Yeah, on the bright side, you got the Frostmourne swords mog thing.
That too, yeah.
Even though it's not the real Frostmourne.
I think you actually said this of like, oh, like for me, I'm like, I might as well go through and like do a plate wear, that way I can have the mogs for my like main. And I was like, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, dude, I'm playing a Death Knight, bro. I'm just trolling you.
Yeah, but you're not playing a Death Knight like this season, although you have like 10 Death Knights, bro.
Actually,
4, 7, 8.
I think this is my third Death Knight.
10th.
I think it's only my third. I mean, the hard thing is like I don't want to gear up multiple of the same character, right? So I have this one I'm playing on Remix because it's fun to play on Remix. I have the one. I obviously have my main. And then for newer listeners who don't know this, I have another Death Knight. I think it's named Reyasir is the Death Knight's name.
Yep.
And its whole existence was because I was catfishing my guild with it.
Yeah, because you're kind of a turd.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much that's it. No, I just thought it would be really funny for a video if I created this alternate character, alternate personality, a whole Discord account for it. And the whole purpose of it was to see if I could get this character into raid. Like into being a part of the raid team without anybody finding out that it was me. That was the trick. The trick was like, can I get them into our raid, like our normal raid team?
And you totally did.
And it worked. And I raided for the night. And I think some people were starting to get suspicious because I had made some jokes in chat that were like jokes I would make for sure. Like
definitely swag jokes.
Yeah, talking about Death's Advance and stuff like that. But also vague enough that maybe another person who loves Death Knight would make the same joke, right? It was kind of like hit or miss. And so at the end of the night, I just kind of like...
You're like, oh crap, they're on to me.
At the end of the night, I was just like on the mic. I was like, oh, thank you for letting me raid tonight. And everybody's like, oh my gosh.
And half the people were like, I knew it. And then you're just like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So we have a lot of listeners on the podcast who've joined our guild, over the past year. And if you ever joined our guild and joined the Discord and gotten a role called maybe Swag, or I think it's possibly Swag. That's why
possibly Swag.
That's why that role exists. I think everybody new to the Discord gets that role automatically.
Yeah.
That's
possibly Swag.
That's the lore. That's the lore behind that random guild role that you can have.
So, possibly Swag.
Possibly.
No, it's a good role. It really is.
I mean, it doesn't do anything. It gives you access to the Discord. So, anyways, with that said,
you could possibly be Swag.
I could. Anyway. That's true. The problem is the one time there was somebody in there who was me, they weren't caught. They got away with it. So, all right.
Wait, what'd you say?
I said the one time, that somebody was in there that wasn't me, or no, that was me. Right, the one time somebody was in there was me. Didn't get caught, but everyone else who gets the possibly Swag role has never been Swag. I will say to give credit where credit's due, the only person who like figured it out, and they figured it out fast, was Zari, who used to heal with me all the time back then, when our schedules aligned more. And like right away, they were just like, "You're too nice to your healers." It was obvious. I was like, "Ah, dang it."
Wait, I don't think I ever heard that part of the story.
Yeah,
That's how she figured out it was you?
Yeah, I like complimented her healing at the end of the run. And she's like, "Oh, you're swag." I was like, what?
Only swag makes his healers feel good about themselves. Every other person makes them feel like dirt.
Yeah, no, like literally she was like, "I've never had any other tank compliment healing." I was like,
oh wow, that's kind of crazy.
All right.
I don't think I've ever heard that part of the story. Huh,
no.
Anyways.
And she's a great healer, so it wasn't even like a skill thing of like, oh.
It wasn't even just like, oh, you're a terrible healer. Oh, actually, you're a really good healer.
Yeah.
It was like legitimate, like, hey, you're a good healer.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, that was a great healing. I'm really impressed. And
she's like, you're swag.
Sus.
And you're just like, what?
Sus. Yeah.
What?
I think other roles can complement healers, right? Like if you're a DPS, you can complement the healer, and it's not suspicious. I think tanks don't always notice maybe the work that healers put in, so that might be why. But anyways, I just thought that was funny. I was like, how do they?
It is really funny. I don't think you've never mentioned that detail of it.
Yeah.
I know you did mention that she was the first one that found out about it, but you've never mentioned that detail about it.
Yep. So now,
interesting.
Now you know. The more you know.
Now, the more. Yeah, I was gonna say the more.
But guess what?
Know.
Now I am the healer.
I know. It's gone full circle. So now what has to happen is someone's got to compliment your healing so that you can be sus.
So that I know it'll be me. I'm multi-boxing. Yeah. I'm running 2 accounts. I'm tank and healer now. I guess that's just called blood DK, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Dude, I will say though, like that's been kind of fun this season though. Is like as a healer, dude. Let me tell you, when somebody like recognizes that your healing's actually like pretty solid, that's a good feeling. Like it just feels awesome when people are like, "Oh, great healing."
Yeah, dude. Like that's. Yeah, because I feel like DPS is just like, oh, okay, yeah, you're good at DPS.
Yeah, because with healing, it's hard because like you watch people die, and you're like, oh no, I'm screwing things up. And most of the time when people die while you're healing, it's not your fault. Like most of the time, they're just doing stupid things, and they just die. And you can't heal stupid, right? Like you just can't. Nope. If you're a priest, you can probably life grip somebody away from the cliff, but like for the most part, you can't heal stupid.
I
like
that.
I always say the 2 things I say is you can't heal stupid and you can't heal dead, right? Like now technically you could battle res somebody or something, but the point being like if somebody's getting one shot, like there's nothing to do about that. But what's hard as a healer, you still feel responsible. Like anytime you see somebody die, regardless of how they died, you feel responsible.
Oh yeah, no, I would 100% understand that. And
so there is this like little bit where people actually compliment you as a healer. You're like, wow. That feels, thank you, right? Like, because I've just spent the last 30 minutes panicking that I'm going to let everybody down and I'm going to fail them all. A tank tank's the opposite. I get nervous when I play tank for sure, just in the sense that like people are not going to like my routes or whatever I'm doing. Yeah. But tank is rough because if people start dying while you're the tank, it's really easy to get in the mindset of just like, oh, well, I'm still alive. If I'm alive, then I must be doing it right. And that's not how that works. Like, if you're the tank, it doesn't matter if you live or don't. I mean, it matters if you live, for sure. But even if you live, you're not, like... That doesn't mean you did nothing wrong, right? You could have pulled more than your DPS and healer were able to handle. You could have not, even yourself included, with, like, kicks and everything, right? Like, you could not be using your kicks appropriately, using your stuns appropriately, and all of that. Yeah. There's just, like, so much that goes into it. So when like people recognize that what you're doing is good, that's nice because I don't know, it just feels good. It feels good, I think in general. All I'm saying is compliment the people in your groups more, right? Yeah. It is so easy just to like recognize when someone's doing well and compliment them, encourage them.
Yeah, that was also just a weird time though too, because that was back in Dragonflight where I feel like healing just got like such a bad rap in Dragonflight. Dude, like everything was the healer's problem. Like tank dies, healer, what are you doing? Friggin' DPS die, healer, what are you doing? Healer dies, healer, what are you doing? Like,
dude, I'm telling you, man, Shadowlands, I loved balance elements of earlier Shadowlands. Like, there were things that were just so fun in Shadowlands that I don't think get credit because of everything else that was a mess in Shadowlands, namely the Moral and Covenants and Dorghast. But like, dude, I miss Shadowlands healing. Shadowlands healing was probably the most fun I had healing in a hot minute.
Oh, that's right, because you did heal a lot in Shadowlands. I always forget that.
Yeah, but you could pump damage, bro. I would pump damage on my shaman. I am looking forward to trying healing out when Midnight comes out. It is definitely heavily simplified. I'm hoping Resto Shaman looks better by the time it comes out because they gutted that hard. But I think they're gonna walk back some of the stuff they got rid of, which will be good. Anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited to try it out then.
And me too.
And compliment. Sorry, I got my brain had to restart for a second there. I'm questing through Val'sharah to keep leveling my time running character, and we freed Maiev, and I forgot that we freed Maiev at this point, and I was like, yo, what the heck is Maiev doing? I was like, oh yeah, that's right, I just freed her.
We're just like,
I wasn't reading any of the quest text or anything. I'm just like running along doing the quests, and my brain had to restart. So welcome to the Warband, where we love the game so much we don't only talk about it for an hour and a half, we're also unable to stop playing it for said hour and a half.
Wow, I wouldn't say that. You make it seem like the quality of this podcast is so low, even though it's the most quality podcast on Spotify. Voted by Forbes.
Yeah, voted by Forbes newspaper.
Voted by Forbes.
Yeah,
I mean, newspaper. Can you imagine playing this game while we podcast?
We podcast.
Only Swag would do that. Anyways, yeah, so we, with the PTR, I feel like people were getting a little more involved in that kind of stuff. It was leaked about these player housing kind of like battle passes is what I'm calling them, where you can choose like different stories. And they have like the Nifins, like the Ethereals, the Earthen, the Mechanomes, all those. Yeah, Ethereals, okay. Sorry. It's still too early. So, and then it kind of comes with like a corresponding battle pass. Like that's kind of neat. It kind of lets you gear, everything towards your play style and
do they call it a battle pass, or they call it like a renown track or something?
They call it a renown track, but it's basically a battle pass.
Renowns are just battle passes. Renowns are battle passes.
Was that in the alpha when you were able to do it, or is that more recently just with the PTR?
There's a housing renown track. I mean, it might be on the alpha now. I haven't played the alpha this week, right?
Yeah.
So it might be on the alpha now. When I last played it, I only saw the renown track for the player housing as a whole. I didn't see a renown track for player housing with like individual things.
Yeah, this is geared towards just the neighborhood endeavors and stuff. And yeah, you're right. I reading the first line of the article does say Midnight Alpha, so it wouldn't have been from the from the PTR.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out.
It looks pretty cool, episode. Like just being able to kind of line yourself with whichever faction you kind of like. So, and I feel like people are against this, but I kind of like the battle pass things.
Yeah, I'm hit or miss on it in the sense where like sometimes I miss the old reputation system, and I get that the old rep was maybe more of a grind. I don't know if it has to be that much of a grind.
Yeah.
But I miss the old rep system of like, oh, I'm friendly with this group. Oh, I'm hated with this group. Oh, I'm right. Like I miss that. And I would like to see those again, right? Like, I don't know if everything needs to have renown attached to it, right? Renown to me, as we kind of often joke, renown to me feels more like a battle pass system, right? It's like a battle pass system of sorts, and I really like that. But
so you don't like neighborhood renown?
No, I'm okay with neighborhood renown because that makes sense. But like, there's a lot of faction renown that I'm just like, this could have been reputation. I think the reason why they go for renown, maybe it's because I just miss it. Maybe sometimes I'm a boomer who just misses like older game elements that just don't exist anymore. It's possible the reason why they use renown is because renown is more in your face, And as a player,
it kind of is, yeah. Reputation definitely is not.
Yeah, as a player coming into the game, understanding renown is a lot easier and visual than understanding reputation, where you have to like go up to a vendor to see if your reputation now allows 100%. You to buy something that you couldn't buy before. So, now that I'm talking about it, I understand why they did it, right? Sometimes you have to verbalize it and then play devil's advocate for a second, and you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I get it.
I do understand exactly what you're saying. It's like, geez, we got a renown track for everything. We got a renown track for raid. We got a renown track for Legion. Track for your mom. What'd you say?
Nothing.
I'm gonna pretend like you didn't say that, and I kind of have an idea of what you did say. But yeah, I mean, there's a renown track for everything. Right? Yeah. Like at some point, I'm like, when are they gonna release like renowned tracks for dungeons and like Mythic Plus? Like, I do think that's gonna happen at some point.
I think so, especially with the raid renowned track. The question ultimately is like the story of it. The nice thing is Blizzard can write whatever story they want, but renown isn't necessarily just a like blanket. Like because we jokingly call it a battle pass, right? What we're saying is they should add a battle pass for M+, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, as you do M+, you unlock rewards. Renown is technically a reputation grind, ultimately, and getting more rep gives you access to more things, right?
Yep.
Is essentially the lore behind it. And so Blizzard would need to come up with a lore reason to that. And the hard thing is delves are easy, because delves are just like, oh, you're helping Bran doing delves. And here's Bran renown,
your
right?
Boy Bran.
Right. Or is it Valyria? I think Valyria Sanguinar in I always get Valyria and Varisa. Right? I always get Valyria and Varisa wrong, but I believe it's Valyria Sanguinar next expansion.
Yeah.
But the problem with dungeons is that each dungeon we go into isn't part of some dungeon group, right? It's not like, oh, the Dungeoneers of Azeroth are going into dungeons. It's like, yo, hero,
right, yeah.
This villain is here in this dungeon.
Pushers of Azeroth,
right? And so they would just have to come up with like some way to do that. And honestly, they could also just not. But again, for world building purposes, they probably want to.
Yeah, it makes more sense, right?
Yeah, and they would just need to come up with...
That's like the reason behind the season.
Yeah, they would just need to come up with a like a brand, like a branding thing for that of like I don't know, like the heroes renown, like heroes conquest renown or something. Like, why are you going...
yeah, that actually kind of fits, right?
Right, like, why are you going into these dungeons and stuff? But again, though, I do think I like the little rewards. The hard thing is the raid renown makes your character stronger, right? So, like, as you rank it up, you get more and more powerful within raid, which is really, really awesome. Yeah. And I think a great way for WoW or Blizzard to, like, slowly nerf raid without actually having to go in and nerf raid. Where it gets questionable, though, is with M+, because you can't do that with M+. I don't think. I mean, they could. I guess they could do it, right? If they really want. Yeah, they could do it if they wanted to. But you probably don't. Don't want to lock a bunch of player power behind renown for M+, probably. So what do you do that makes it like?
You probably don't.
Yeah. So what do you do that makes it worth getting those renown track elements up higher? I guess it's kind of the question. Yeah.
No, I agree.
So
yeah, I mean, I don't disagree at all. I think it feels weird to have like renowned tracks for raid at first. Like when they first announced it, I was like, ugh, this feels a little weird. Yeah. But then playing through it didn't feel near as bad.
No, it was fun.
I just kind of wish that they would have made it a little more. What's the word? A little more easier for people that didn't have like me for this current season. I've not done the raid one time.
Really?
Legitimately, I've not done the raid a single time. Okay. So for me to go into it today,
we'll do a podcast raid event.
Dude, I'm cool with that. Like, you know, my goal was to try to get into the Academy night for the raid this weekend.
Yeah. Painful
plug good. For the guild later. And that was kind of the goal. Hopefully they're doing heroic. If not, I'll do normal. It's not the biggest deal, you know. But like, you know, back to the topic at hand, like I'd like to just go in there and just be able to say like, okay, I'm gonna do the raid one time. I haven't done it at all. I think we're up to you can get to 11, right? Is that right?
I think on it's the renowned track.
Yeah, for raid.
I have no clue. I actually have no clue where you can get to on the renowned track. I probably need to get caught 11. Up. I probably need to get caught up pretty heavily on that, if I'm honest.
Oh, because you guys haven't been raiding as much with now that you have AOTC.
Yeah, our guild. Listen, I love our guild. We're gonna talk about it later, dude. Once we get AOTC, everybody kind of dips. Plus, Legion came out, right? If Remix didn't come out, we'd probably still be doing some sort of weekly heroic reclears and whatnot, which is fine. You know, bringing alts in, doing all these things or whatever.
Yeah.
But man, with I'm
Legion Remix.
With Legion Remix though, dude, that ship sailed. That ship sailed hard. They're doing Legion raiding now. So I think last night they were Legion raiding. I wish I could have joined them. I'm just not high enough level yet, obviously, because I'm still leveling because I'm slow. Because
I mean that happens. You'll get there, right?
Yeah, this whole week, which is super busy. So, it's just
makes sense.
Yeah, but no.
I mean, I think. Go ahead.
No, what were you about to say? I was gonna change topic. So,
I was just gonna say, I was gonna end this topic too. Just basically, I think it's a great idea. It's just kind of where does it fall in with the general rule of thumb with renowned tracks? Does it make sense to do them lore wise, or does it kind of make sense not to do them? So,
yeah, absolutely.
Like with the dungeon one, bigly.
Yeah, if we think of it, if we think of it as like a battle pass of sorts, then I'm 100%. I think there should be something with some rewards. Doesn't have to be crazy rewards. And does it even have to be rewards at every level? I don't even know if it has to be a reward at every level, right? I think that's excessive.
Yeah. No, I think it is too.
But I do think, though, that it would be sick to have occasional, like, rewards. And just to see it, just be like, oh, wow, yeah, this person maxed out. And the nice thing with the M Plus Battle Pass is, like, most of M Plus is about trying to push yourself as high as you can go, right? And like the higher you go, the more rewarded you get, which is awesome, and I think should absolutely be the norm. But the Battle Pass or the Renown track for M Plus also just says, hey, you play a lot of M Plus, here's a reward, right? Like you're just doing M Plus. You could be running 5s the whole time, and if that's like where your comfort zone is, that's where you feel challenged and you're having a good time, then who cares, right? Like if you're like me and you're just running 10s all day, like awesome. You're engaging with the content. We want to reward you for engaging with the content. So to me, that kind of that to me is the big value behind why I think M Plus Battle Pass would be awesome, because it's also rewarding people for engaging with the content and not just simply for pushing as high as possible, which I do think people should be pushing, and I think you can have a lot of fun pushing. So I don't want to discourage that either, because I like doing it. Obviously. I want more reward for pushing. I like that there's a reward for what's it called, KSL, because that's challenging me, right?
Yeah, it is.
But I just think having a raid renown track, we're ready for a Mythic Plus renown track.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, back to the topic at hand. Well, not back to the topic at hand. More midnight info, baby. So. We got a couple leaks. We got some tier set leaks. Were you able to look at the tier sets?
I did, dude. Okay. I actually kind of like them.
Dude, I'm tired of friggin' Death Knight. Dude, can we just get one DK tier set that doesn't have a
Spikes?
Skull in it? Like, come on.
Well, you are a Death Knight. That's kind of their thing.
I know, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of copy, right?
So,
like,
did you listen
to... And the horns for Demon Hunter, dude.
Did you listen to the Skarzard interview that the Potty C did?
I was unable to listen to it, so that is a no.
What does that mean?
What'd you say?
What does unable to listen to it mean?
Like I just didn't have time to listen to it?
Oh. I thought like you meant like it just didn't work, or like you were banned from it.
I just meant I didn't have time. Like I just didn't have time to listen to it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So
I was unable to listen to it.
I guess if you
Sorry,
didn't even
I chose my words.
I guess if you didn't even listen to our podcast, that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't get to listen to many podcasts. Actually, I didn't listen to any podcasts this week just because I just had a different work schedule.
Interesting. Anyways, so the Potty C did an interview with Skarzard. Skarzard worked for Blizzard for a period of time. Well loved by the community.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I saw the article for it.
Predominantly worked with like rewards was his thing, right? Like tier sets, designs. Yeah. What do you get rewarded for doing type stuff, right? And he was talking about tier set designs. I'm pretty sure it was him talking about it. I could be confusing other conversations. I forget. But anyways, all that to say though, a big part of it was like when they think about, they're thinking like, okay, but what does a Death Knight, right? Like, what is a Death Knight who's in this area? Like, what would their armor look like? Right. Yeah. So like Undermine was like a prime example used of like, what does a warlock who is a goblin in Undermine, right? Like, what would he design his armor to be like, and how would he even work as a warlock? Right? It's like, oh, he's actually probably just going around and selling off, like fell magic to people, like fell infusions, right? Like just like crap like that. And so when you think about it that way, it's like, yeah, of course, Death Knights are gonna slap skulls on everything, right? They're going all their armor to be like skull related. That's just like their thing.
That's true.
Yeah, I will admit though, I don't love when they give like robes. I get why they do it sometimes, but plate wearers with robes, and sometimes Death Knights fall in that category. Usually it's Paladins, but sometimes Death Knights get stuck in that trap. And so I will admit the Death Knight tier set's not my favorite for that reason. I prefer pants for sure. I do like the Demon Hunter. The thing I like about the Demon Hunter one though is that like it gives you just a cool look to your horns, right? Because you're gonna have horns regardless because you're a Demon Hunter. So at least gives like a different, unique kind of cool look. Adds them into the helm rather than them just sticking out of your helm. Because otherwise, if they weren't on the helm, they'd be sticking through it, right?
That's true.
However, what I also really like, although I wonder if there'd be a way for them with tier sets to just like, rather than put the horns into the tier set, have the helmet color or like reskin your horns so that your horns are always still the same shape regardless of which helmet you put on. I feel that couldn't be that hard to make into the game.
No, I feel like it couldn't be.
Yeah. The other one, though, they also gave monk's horns for this year.
Yeah, I know. So. I saw that. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Dude, they're making it... No, I was going to make a joke. I decided not to.
Dude, I got to give Blizzard credit, though, dude. Like, how many years of making tier sets and transmog has it been for them still to have, like, designs to pull from?
Yeah, I mean, taking the aspect of the concept that you kind of brought up of like, hey, like, not necessarily everything having a generic design, but everything's going to have like a similar-esque design.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes it a little bit easier. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Death Knights are most likely going to have like skull and bones. You know, your Demon Hunters are going to have your horns and your demony-esque things. Just kind of gearing them around. Hey, we got to make it kind of look like it's for this raid and not just for like for this tier, right? For this season.
Now there was a period. I don't know when it began because I was out during Legion and BFA, but I know for sure it was a thing in early Shadowlands where I originally encountered it. And what I'm talking about is like. They didn't really have tier sets, right? So like the idea of like a set of armor that actually like gave you increasing power wasn't a thing for a little bit. They had gotten rid of them. And so when they got rid of them, they made your transmogs also more generic, right? So it was like, oh, here's the plate transmog for raid. Here's the mail transmog for raid. Here's the cloth transmog for raid, the leather transmog for raid. And so they had to go back to making them class specific again when I want to say season 3 of Shadowlands came out.
Yeah,
because that's when tier sets came back.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I remember because I was. Well, no, I remember asking you like, "Hey, what is this thing?" And you're like, "Oh, this is what they call a tier set." And I was like, "Oh, cool."
Oh yeah. That's right.
I know.
I will say though,
that was the first season I played. Anyways.
Yeah, and I will say I personally really like having more transmog options. So I like the tier set approach where you go, oh, here's the Death Knight one, here's the Warrior one, here's the Paladin one, and I believe it usually lets you transmog them across characters. Like you're not like ultimately trapped in only your Death Knight can use the Death Knight tier appearances, right? I believe like your Paladin and your Warrior can also use them. So to me, I like that because it just gives me more options, and usually gives me more like flavorful options. And Warrior tends to be a little bit more generic, so they can kind of theme it more in, right?
Yeah, right.
Stuff like that. Paladin.
There's typically one for each.
Death Knight and sometimes Demon Hunter are usually the ones that stick out. I think when you're looking at like tier sets, where you're like, oh, that's very different than all the other ones.
Oh yeah, 100%. It is.
Mm-hmm. But maybe everybody feels that way about their class tier set. Like maybe all the monks look at theirs.
Oh, probably.
Always get the orbs on the shoulders.
That's definitely fair. Yeah, everyone probably feels that way about there. Mm-hmm. So I should quit complaining.
Yeah, but it makes sense. I love tier sets. I think they look so good. What else is in the news, Chicken? Sorry, we're slowing down.
We got a couple more add-on updates. So it was first look at the Details add-on, which it looks basically the same as Details now.
Yeah.
Damage meters, that kind of stuff. So I don't want to spend too much time on that, but
I'm curious to see how it performs though with stuff like Aug Evoker.
I don't know if they have said that.
If they have access to better data, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, because Aug Evoker was like awful for a while. Like theoretically, air quotes, awful for a long time, and then it was like, oh wait, no, Details is just bad.
Yeah, dude, I remember being in the group one time, and a dude was like, "Oh, don't invite that Aug. Augs do really bad damage." And I was like, "No, dude."
And you're just like, "What?
Augs are goated. Like you absolutely want an Aug in your group. Details just doesn't know how to read it." I remember being in a group where somebody was trashing the Aug in our group. And I was like, bro, shut up. This Aug's actually doing great. He's really doing really good right now.
What?
He's trying.
Get wrecked. You're just like, bro.
Yeah, because what they were offering was because what happened was, right, like Details didn't know how to calculate what was going on. And so it was literally pushing up the damage of everybody else in the group, right?
Uh-huh.
And pushing up the healing and pushing up the survivability of the tank. And so because not only was it not tracking what the Evoker was doing for himself, but it was tracking what he was doing for other people, but not accrediting it to him. And so it just made that disparity look even worse because, again, his is pushed down and he's pushing everyone else's up.
Yep.
But
so
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, hopefully it works better because you're right, it was pretty savage.
And here's the thing, dude. If the add-ons or the add-on replacements aren't 100% at the launch of midnight, whatever, right? People complain Blizzard fix them. I mean, I'm constantly and I'm constantly seeing Blizzard like listen to player feedback right now. Like we just got an update this week that pandemic tracking for dots is being added into the cooldown manager. That was something that really worried people, right?
And stagger, there's an update for stagger being a lot easier to track.
Oh, good, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I think that Blizzard's really listening right now. And what we've seen over the last couple of years is a Blizzard that is like actively constantly making updates to the game. Like there was a while, right, where Blizzard would take their time on changes but that's not the current Blizzard. Like the current World of Warcraft is like ever changing. Frequent updates, fast-paced updates. They're listening to the player base. They're aware of what the players are asking for. I think Ian is doing a great job leading the company, or the team, and it really is like I have the faith that it'll get where it needs to get to, and if it doesn't, like if it's just something that they're like, no, we don't want that to be part of add-on tracking. I understand, and I'm assuming that they'll probably adjust the classes themselves to like account for that, to be like, oh, this shouldn't even exist because we don't even want the tracking to be doing that, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I'm just hearing a lot of talk right now, like a lot of chatter that like just people dooming, dude. People just hard dooming over what's going on. It's like, hey guys, everything's gonna be okay. And I don't like saying that add-ons like right, you have that back and forth of people being like, yo, you're only good because you have add-ons, and other people being like, no, I'm good regardless of my add-ons or not.
Whoa.
Right, like if you're good, you're good. And honestly, I agree with the latter, where like your add-ons aren't what make you good. I think good players tend to use add-ons because they know how it can help them, right? Because they're constantly trying to get better. And so why not use tools to help them get better? With that said, though, you're no longer going to be competing against people who are using add-ons, right? And I think that's where the confusion lies. It's not like Timmy, who uses add-ons and really relies on them because it's too hard for him to keep track of everything happening, is now all of a sudden get a lot worse than Johnny, who's doing the exact same thing, right?
Johnny.
Now, maybe one of them is a little inherently better at tracking stuff without the help of add-ons, but the reality is like, do add-ons play the game for you? No. But they calculate the game for you.
Oh, they definitely help, yeah.
Right, they calculate the game. And that's the question, right? Like, that I think is part of the question of like, Blizzard saying, hey guys, we want you to be tested when you go into combat. Maybe you can't bring a calculator with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You kind of have to do it yourself. Now, will the calculator tell you the correct, ways to solve a problem? No, but if you plug it in, it'll give you the data, right?
Yeah.
And maybe the calculator is overpowered in comparison to what add-ons do. I'm really trying to avoid saying add-ons play the game for you because I love add-ons and I use them all the time. I'm the first one, dude. I'm the first one when something goes wrong at Raid where I'm like whipping together a weak or real fast for people to use. Like that
definitely
like,
is you, dude.
Yeah, I really enjoy add-ons. Like they're fun. But I also understand what Blizzard's doing, and so I'm excited to see, and I'm really hopeful that they continue to innovate and update even after the expansion comes out.
Yeah,
right?
I think they will.
Yeah, I think so too.
At least I hope so. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
One other midnight thing, and probably one of the second to last things we got to talk about is a thing that I'm coining as threat level midnight.
Okay, a good little Office reference there.
That kind of links back to the threat level being changed in Midnight. They're giving a huge buff to taunt and threat, which is, I feel like, a big deal. You know, I was thinking about this earlier this week. You know, at some point before the release of The War Within, Midnight, I want to go back and, like, it'll probably be a podcast that we do in, like a couple weeks from now, maybe a couple months from now.
Yeah.
I want to go back and just study everything that changed in Midnight and like our initial thoughts of like, like a big one was like, oh, the tank change, like they changed a lot about tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know at the beginning of this expansion, threat was like awful, like terrible. So it's kind of good to see them giving that kind of little buff to threat at the beginning of an expansion and not like towards the end. What do you think?
No, I'm 100% on board. You saw me post on Discord this week. I think Season 1 is always so rough for tanks, of any expansion, because everything's being retuned, damage is increasing, and tanks really thrive off of... I mean, everybody needs stat to do what they do, but right, tanks' ability to hold aggro and live is so stat dependent. It's not like damage, which is like, oh, look, later seasons, we're doing giga damage. That's kind of fun. Right?
Yeah,
it's like, yo, I want to live. I want to actually be able to hold aggro, right?
I want to live.
These are deeply important things. And so I think it's really awesome that Blizzard's looking at that early and go, okay, we need to change these. One note that I'm always reminded of, especially when I read this article, but I think something important for people to know. I've talked about it way early, maybe one of the first like 5 episodes of the podcast. So I think I can mention it again without sounding repetitive, is how much I hate delves. No, I'm kidding. I'm not talking about that. And I actually don't hate delves, contrary to what people say. They're just not for me, but I think delves are great. No, the real thing is that when you taunt as a tank, I don't think the tooltip says I'm actually looking at my tooltip right now. Yeah, right. So if I look at Dart Command, which is the taunt for Blood DK, it just says command the target to attack you. That's it. That's all the tooltip says. And when you taunt something, you do command it to attack you. Like that thing will change its focus and start attacking you. What people don't realize, though, is for about 6 seconds, I think it is, after you taunt something, you actually have increased threat generation across the board.
Yep.
So not just on that thing, but in general, you have like increased threat generation. And so that even the article just was a good reminder because it included that little bit of info in there in terms of like even that threat gen is increased. So like as a tank, dude, be using that taunt on rotation because like especially when you're pulling, because I think a lot of times you think, oh, I'm running into a pack, I'm gonna pull a pack, I'll just use an AoE attack. Why do I need a taunt? Right now you can probably get away with that when you've got Giga Stat in season 3. But in season 1, like hitting a taunt as you're running up on a pack before you hit your AoE does radically change how much aggro that AoE now pulls. So
yeah,
fun little tip for tanks who or people who want to try tanks out for the podcast.
That's a good reference. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know that for a long time.
It's helpful. I forget it often. Like when I'm in a dungeon, I just don't think about it. But it is actually exceptionally helpful.
Oh, yeah. You're just like, oh, crap. I don't have any threat. And you're just like, taunt, taunt, taunt.
Yeah.
Or you're trying to throw a blood boil or whatever it's called.
Them blood boils. But yeah. So hopefully that helps.
Anyways.
But yeah, I thought that was a nice little nod to recognizing that.
Yeah, so yeah. Threat level midnight, baby. That's a good one.
That makes sense. Threat level midnight.
And last midnight info we got is even more changes to the crest system. It seems like there is actually less crests involved to upgrade gear. Instead of 15 is now 10, which is kind of cool. And there's also a big reduction in the amount of tiers. So everything now has the 6 tiers instead of adventure, veteran, and champion having 8. So everything has 6 tiers now, which makes sense. Like I always thought it was weird that like half the tiers have 8 and the other half have 6.
Yeah, the last two are 6.
That's just weird. Yeah. So that changed. Everything's now 6, which makes it a little easier. You don't have to feel like you're spending like a ton of crests at the beginning of on those beginning pieces of loot. So that's kind of neat. And the big change down to only needing 10 crests is also kind of big. And it also looks like there's a lot of overlap now or not overlap. They did add some overlap into upgrading things, which makes it feel a little bit better. It seems like now you can use different crests
I don't know if everything's 10.
Oh, see, this track that I'm using is 10. Everything is 10.
Okay, because I feel like I heard, I don't know how accurate this is. I feel like I heard that it scales up the higher you go. So the higher into your track reward you are, the more crests it requires. But I don't know if that's true or not.
Maybe. Whoa. Maybe I just read that wrong.
Maybe. I feel like I heard a conversation on that recently. I don't have the info in front of me. Wellhead, crest, changes, upgrades. Let's see. Huge upgrade system changes at midnight.
No, I think you're right, actually.
Yeah. So let's say hero, or let's do... Yeah, so every level costs 20 more crests, or 10 more crests, than the level before, right? So if you're going from hero 1 of 6 to 2 of 6, that's 10 crests. If you're going to 3 of 6, now it's 20 crests to make that jump. From 3 of 6 to 4 of 6.
I totally read that wrong. I read that as like it takes 50 crests to get to the last stage, not 50 crests just to upgrade.
They put a note. Wowhead put a little note in their Excel grid that they made that literally says cost for each level, not cumulative.
Yep. No, I see it.
Yeah.
What a nerd. What a nerd I am.
So earlier levels are going to be a little bit easier. However,
It just doesn't feel the greatest, to be honest. Now I feel like they got to give us more crests.
Yeah. There's also an overlapping nature, I believe, to crests. So it seems like what's going to happen is, let's say you're upgrading your hero gear, right? And by the way, I do like this because I never want to waste my... I don't hit cap, right? I don't hit cap, and so I don't want to waste my Gilded Crests on hero gear. And so for me, I'm like looking at this, I'm like, okay, I can use those rune crests, or I guess now they're going to be called hero crests, right? I can use hero crests to go from 4 out of 6 to 6 out of 6, right? But they do have the option. If you're going from 5 out of 6 to 6 out of 6, you could, instead of using 50 hero crests for that one level, I believe it now lets you also choose to use 10 mythic crests if you would prefer, or what are currently gilded crests, right? I think you have the option. That's what it seems to be saying. It seems to be saying that there's some overlap there. Which is cool.
That is pretty neat, to be honest.
Yeah, but what I think they're trying to get rid of, though, ultimately is like every track should be offering should be using the same crest throughout that track, right? Rather than like, hey, halfway through the track, your crest type changes, because that just felt weird. And it was confusing. I think they're like, we don't need it to be that confusing. We can make it simple to understand.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're right. I think they simplified it, yet some people probably aren't going to be happy with the changes that now it requires like a butt ton more crests. No. But I mean,
what I'm really worried about now is how I'm going to see how many crests I have without my weak aura I made to track my crests.
Oh my gosh, dude. Imagine you're going to have to pull up the in-game menu or the character menu like everyone else.
Like low-key, there's actually probably an option for me to just add it to my backpack as like a bar under, but whatever.
Honestly, there probably is.
I'm waiting for somebody to make like, because weak auras is throwing a fit right now, like the people behind it, where they're essentially like, unless we get what we want, we're not going to keep updating weak auras. And every time Blizzard puts out like changes for combat UI and add-ons, everybody's commenting on it like, weak auras, is this enough? Will you come back? And weak auras are like, no, we're not coming back. That's not enough. That's not what we need. Ultimately, I think weak auras, again, and I understand why, the creators only want to work on the tool if the tool can do what they want to do. Like me talking about tracking stuff, that's like a bonus. That's like oh wow, it can track my crest while I'm out of combat, because that's fun, right? The main reason why they're making it, though, is for combat calculation. And without that, I don't think that people want to work on it. But I'm hoping somebody picks up the mantle and makes like a weaker auras or something. And
weaker auras,
right? Just like weak auras for only out of combat, right? I would take that.
Auras.
Yeah, weaker auras.
Swag, that sounds like something you need to start.
Bro, I don't know how to code.
No. Just have AI do everything for you.
Dude, AI code. I'll be a vibe coder, bro. That's what that's called, right? I don't live in that world. Yeah, perfect. Yep. People
AI
are listening
code for you.
Dude, we have like actual coders listening to podcasts right now who are like dying on the inside. They're like, Swag, no Swag. Like, you know when like what's that Christopher Nolan movie where he goes into space?
Interstellar?
Yeah, Interstellar. Like, you know when he's like stuck in like the extra dimension and he sees his family and stuff?
I think so.
That's how the programmers listening to the podcast right now are feeling. They're like in their car driving to work and they're hearing this and they're just like, no, Swag, no, don't become a vibe coder. Don't vibe code. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's what's going on right now.
Last thing to segue us into our promotions for this episode of the podcast. We have Twitch Drop still going on, and that is great segue into our many promotions that Swag will now talk about.
Yeah, sadly, I'm probably not Twitch streaming this weekend because of
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got some stuff going on.
Hey, we'll see. Depends on how much you get done today.
Yeah,
but if I have time. But anyways, everyone listening, we just want to thank you for listening to the Warband podcast. This is a passion project of both Chicken and I, and we love it. And we have even bigger dreams that we want to pull off. with this podcast. And so if you would like to support the podcast, we would encourage you to check out our Patreon. On our Patreon, there's multiple tier levels. Hopefully one that suits you well, meets your needs. But we like to offer extra content on our Patreon. This episode, although is being recorded a little early in the morning, so, smaller audience today, but we do like to record our podcast episodes live when we can for our Patreon listeners to sit in on and even ask questions as it's live. And what's going on. Speaking of which, I just checked, and we have one from Rack, so we'll get to that as soon as we wrap up this segment. But check out our Patreon. There's going to be a link down in the description. That will allow Chick and I to do even more stuff with the podcast, things that we're excited about, and potentially moving towards a video podcast in the future so that we can kind of create a better experience for everybody listening. On top of that, we also have Zygor, which has been supporting our podcast through their guides add-on. So if you are looking for guides in World of Warcraft for everything from gold making to leveling, even including classic and I believe remix options in there as well, Zygor is a super powerful and amazing add-on that you can check out in the description. If you take the link we have that supports us, there's also a code SWAGLOCK, which will give you 20% off any purchases with Zygor. So want to encourage you there. And then the last thing, this one doesn't actually pay for anything on the podcast. We just like talking about it. But that is our guild that we are a part of called Astra. We have been a part of Astra for a long time, and we love it. It is a non-toxic, super encouraging guild just for players that want to experience anything in World of Warcraft. Whether you're a heavy sweat or a dirty casual, whatever it is, you've got a place in Astra. And so if you're looking for a guild, a place to maybe learn raiding or get connected with other people who love the game, we want to encourage you to do that. We have weekly events like our Sunday Keys, where we put people in groups to run keys together, everything from 2s to 12s. Maybe you're looking for people to raid with, and so we will encourage you to join us. If you've never raided before, we even have a thing we call Academy Night, which is just it's a raid night where we are extra focused on teaching people the basics of raiding. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a great place to be. We want to encourage you to check it out. If you are interested, you can join my Discord. There's a link in the description. And when you get in there, you'll see a channel called Join Astra, and just read the directions in there. If you have any questions about the guild or anything else, it is not a guild for the podcast. It's just a guild that Chick and I love and would encourage you to be a part of if you're looking for one. And real quick, before we get into the listener questions, Rack did leave a comment, by the way, in our live recording channel. When we were talking about add-ons and in-game tracker stuff and things that are still missing, he did comment and said that there's the new in-game details tracker doesn't track interrupts. I have not tested that out myself. I suspect that will be fixed. I would be shocked if that doesn't get fixed. If it doesn't get fixed, it's possible that Blizzard is sitting there going like, too many people are getting yelled at for not interrupting enough, which again, you should be interrupting. But Blizzard might, my thought is I want them to have it. I want an interrupt tracker to be there.
We need.
Because that helps, especially like with friends, right? Like when I'm running with friends, to be able to be like, oh, Timmy, you got to use your interrupt, right? No, you got to use your interrupts more. Like that's like a major part.
You're right.
Everyone else has interrupted 35 times this run. You interrupted 3, right? Like we need you to use an interrupt. But I also understand that there's certain things that maybe are too, like, people are going to find any reason to yell at other players, and maybe Blizzard's hesitant to put too much data there in front of you. I also wonder if the in-game tracker tracking interrupts would allow add-ons to pull that info from the in-game tracker to make a kick tracker available. And so Blizzard has to play that very careful, because that's probably what it is. I don't think Blizzard wants a kick tracker in the game. As far as I'm aware, they don't. I think they'd actually like to soften how many kicks are in each pack and have less kicks required per pack. And so we know that that add-ons will be able to pull data from anything that Blizzard's displaying. It just can't pull data from any calculations that are going on or any logic that's happening. And so if there's an interrupt tracker if this is the first time I've processed this. If the damage meter has an interrupt tracker built into it, that info on that interrupt tracker could then be used to program a kick tracker, as people use them currently, where it's just like, oh, it's Timmy's turn to kick. Now chicken kicks. Now swag kicks. And I think Blizzard wants to avoid that. I think they actually want to lower how many kicks are required in trash packs. And that's an arms race area where if you have too much info and your kicks are too good, then that can be a problem. I also think, too, there's elements to which I think Blizzard just wants people to communicate. And I think there's times where Blizzard's like, look, you're going to get rewarded if you're willing to hop into VC and run a dungeon together and communicate what's happening. Like, they're going to say you get rewarded for that. And I get that some people are solo players, that some people don't want to run with other players. That's fine. That's your choice. But I think sometimes the choices we make can limit us. And that's also okay if we're willing to accept that. So, but that's interesting. I hadn't thought about that, Rack. I hadn't considered it. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh, yeah, they absolutely 100% need to add an interrupt tracker to the details meter or to the damage meter or whatever.
Oh, wait, do they?
And then as soon as I started processing, I was like, oh, I don't know.
Wait, actually.
Yeah. All right. With that said, we got some awesome listener questions that came in this week. If you listen to the podcast and you want to send your questions in as well, you can do so via the Discord link. Pop them into the Pod Questions channel. We do prioritize our Patreon questions, so we always try to hit those first. And we do have a Patreon question coming in today from Rack. Another fun hypothetical question for the pod. Let's say Blizzard reached out to Swag and Chicken and said, dudes, we love the podcast so much that we want to pay tribute to it and immortalize your characters as NPCs in a next expansion. But we want some input on where and how. Where do you want your NPC versions of yourselves located in the game, and what functionality should they have? Should they be quest givers, chatty townies with their own stay while and listen, major dungeon or even raid bosses? How would you guys like to see your characters become a part of the lore forever? Forever.
Okay, I got it.
All right, Chicken, you go first.
I got it. Okay, so I want my person to stand in what's it called? Oh my goodness. Okay, see, this is why I like to have WoW open, because I can look at what the place is actually called, because I'm a Zereth Mortis. Boom. And I want to purposely just stand there, and then when someone interacts with me, they have to fight me, because that's my nature, and I love fighting people. And then if they beat me, they get an exclusive Jellyhead mount.
Perfect.
Mount. Jellyhead Mog. Sorry.
Mog. Mount and Mog. It's actually just some...
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Jellyhead Mount and Mog, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Here's how they're going to introduce my character. When they revamp old world content, right? You get like a new Elwyn Forest and stuff. You're questing through Elwyn Forest. Or maybe it's even something Pine. I'm forgetting the name of the undead Silver Pine, right? You're questing through Silver Pine Forest or something, right? Some wood somewhere with farms. I want like a human area because I want more lively feeling farms. So Elwyn, revamped Elwyn. Farmers are complaining. Like, you're talking to a farmer because his tools have gone missing. And you have to like find his tools, right? And so you find like the hoe, and you find his axe, and you're like hunting around and his scythe and stuff. And then all of a sudden you're like, the last one you have to find is like the shovel, right? You have to find the shovel. And you walk into this cave, right? And there's my character like enchanting a shovel, like trying to enchant a shovel because he doesn't have any other weapon. And and then you have to like fight me. You have to fight me for to get the shovel back for the farmer. And then when you take the shovel back to him, because I like imbued it with like Death Knight runic magic already, when he gets it, it like corrupts the farmer as if it's Frostmourne.
Oh.
Yeah, right. But that doesn't go anywhere. It just doesn't go anywhere other than the farmer just like having some like crazy voice lines and running off with like power flowing around him, right? That's what I would
Makes
like.
sense to me.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be so good. All right. Next question coming in from Goon. When third-party add-ons are removed and you got to use Blizzard provided only. Oh, yeah. This is Goon's question. So I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it because English isn't Goon's first language, and so I want to just clean it up a little bit. So basically, what Goon's asking is Blizzard's removing add-ons, right? They're removing all this stuff. So with no add-ons in play, if Chicken had to pick a tank for Swag to play next season, and Swag had to pick a tank for Chicken to play next season, right? That they would have to pick up from scratch, basically, and figure out. And you can't choose Death Knights, because obviously we both play DK tanks, right? Yeah. Can't choose Death Knights. What tank would we choose for each other to play that would probably have the most success, right? Like we walk into Midnight not having practiced on that tank or something. What do we think each other would have like the most success on, or what would we pick as funny? However you want to answer that.
What is it? Oh my goodness, I can't even think of it right now. Vengeance Demon Hunter. Boom.
Oh,
or Havoc. Sorry.
For me, or no, Vengeance is the tank. Vengeance
it is Vengeance. Yeah. Sorry. I'm a troll. Yeah.
That makes sense. Vengeance is the only tank I don't really have great experience tanking on, right? I've tanked M+ on Bear, on Brewmaster, on Prot, on Blood, obviously. Even a bit on Warrior. Prot Warrior I'll play occasionally. But dude, for some reason I've never gotten into Vengeance tanking. And I don't know why, because they're cool. I just never got into it. And I should have a season where I play it. Especially when it was like so goated for a long time. If I had to pick one for Chicken, I'd probably pick Brewmaster Monk. And the reason why is because I know you already play Windwalker Monk, and I know you play Mistweaver Monk. And so I feel like to finally just like round that out so that you have like one character with like all three specs mastered would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that'd be kind of dope. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, please just don't say Bear. No. Bear is like the one that I'm just like, I really just don't have an interest in playing Bear.
Why is that?
I tried Bear one time and I just did not like it whatsoever.
All right.
Yeah, I was just not a fan of it. Big no fan of Bear.
No fan of Bear. All right, question coming in from Sean. What features / tests from Memix? Why did I say it like that?
Remix.
Right. What features / tests from Remix would you want brought over to retail? I kind of hinted at some of this conversation, I think, at the very start of the podcast.
I feel like they have to bring over, what's it called? Like, I just feel like that just has to come over.
Yeah, what's it called? For sure. Yeah.
The heroic, like, questing. Like, that has to come over. Oh, yeah.
Dude, that's mine, too. That's my answer to that, too.
I don't even think it's a question of if it's going to come over. I feel like it's like, oh, yeah, that actually has to come over. Like, I don't think there's, like, a...
I'm pretty confident that was added in for the purpose of testing its viability.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Because there's no other reason for that to exist. There's no other reason for that. Like, that's not... Everything else in Remix is designed for this, like, speedy, fast-paced, heavy collector, kind of short-term game mode, right? Yep. Like, most Remix things would not be fun on retail WoW. They're only fun because you know it's a limited time game mode and that there's no competitive element to it, right? Mm-hmm. That's why it's fun. But the heroic heroic world content, I think for sure. And I think Blizzard's really trying to cook with that right now. And I think they're trying to work on some ideas and some things. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see where that goes, what happens with that. Again, Blizzard's always looking for more endgame content stuff, and world questing in endgame just doesn't feel like it keeps up in terms of difficulty.
No, it just doesn't.
So we'll see. Question coming in from Zach. Not really a question, but I would love it if they made follower dungeons more challenging and introduced follower raids. What do you think? I think that's a question. End it with a question mark. So what do you think about more follower dungeons more challenging and follower raids?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea. I mean, follower raids kind of, well, they don't exist. It's just the like the final boss.
Like story
but to
mode,
have like a true like follower raid, I think that's not a half bad idea. I kind of like it.
I'm all for more challenging. I mean, everybody knows I'm all for more challenging content. Follower dungeons being more challenging though. I don't know what the current difficulty of them is. I guess it's like normal. The hard thing though with that is you can't really scale it into mythic, like M+ dungeons, right? So to me, normal and heroic really like aren't that different, right? Like I'm not touching either of them probably. You know, so that one I don't know if follower dungeons being more difficult. I think follower dungeons are really just meant to train. I get the question. I think the question is like, should there be more solo options available? Probably for people who want to do dungeons but don't want to do it with other people. And that makes sense. But I think at the end of the day, the heart of dungeons is that you're going in with a team and solving something with a team. So it can only get so difficult because like, what are they going to do? Have your teammates start failing, like in the follower dungeon to add? I don't know, right? Like that one gets hard. I think where follower dungeons are right now is good. Ultimately, maybe you can make it a little bit more of a challenge. I just don't know what the challenge level of them is currently. But I think they're really meant to be just a learning tool. I don't think they're meant to be lived in. With that said, follower raids. I have a really hot take with follower raids, and I think a lot of people might disagree with me. I've talked about it on the podcast before, so this won't be new to Chicken. But according to Blizzard, supposedly the most played game mode in World of Warcraft is LFR. Now, I don't know exactly what that means. They might just be meaning in terms of queued content. They might be meaning in terms of group content. I don't totally know what that means 100%. But we're told that LFR is the most played game mode for a while. Here's the thing. LFR sucks. LFR is horrendous. If you're listening to the podcast and the only rating you do is LFR, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You got to stop.
Whoa.
You got to stop. Listen, come join our guild. We just promote it. Join us on our Academy raid nights. Try out normal. Especially normal. Hey, even attempt heroic if you want. Dude, LFR is just not fun. It's not fun. Like, and if you're having fun doing LFR, dude, your mind's gonna be blown when you get into like an enjoyable raid group. Your mind's just be like, whoa, this was possible. Like, I just think LFR is such a bad experience for players. I don't know. To me, there's nothing good in LFR. And so what I would do if I was at Blizz and I could make any change regarding raid that I wanted to, I would go and I would get rid of LFR entirely. I'd like cut LFR out of the game, and I would make an amazing follower raid experience where you're going in and like you every time you get to a boss, right, you get like a raid leader NPC who you go up to and you can like just ask them questions about how to handle mechanics on that fight, right? Yeah. And then you ready check with them when you're ready to go, and you go into the fight, right? And you get to run it in that capacity. I would replace LFR with that so fast. I would replace LFR with that so freaking fast. Just because I think, and maybe they scale it so you can go in, like you can have a group, so you can be like, oh, me and my 3 friends are gonna go and do the follower raid, right? I just think that would be more beneficial for players wanting to learn how to raid and get them plugged into raid. That'd be 1,000% more beneficial than LFR is. And the problem is you could actually have like challenging mechanics, because now all of a sudden it's like, no, this person's here to learn how to raid, and there's a couple mechanics that if they fail them, the raid fails, right? You gotta pass your check to get to the next boss, just like a normal raid would be. And I think LFR operates under this understanding that nobody's gonna do mechanics ever, right? Like nobody's gonna ever feel responsible to be the one to do mechanics, and so bosses, for the most part, have to be designed with like no mechanics of any meaning. The mechanics are happening, but you just ignore them, right? And I don't know if that creates a good experience. So in terms of follower raid, dude, I'm 100% in for follower raid, and I think in fact I'm so in. I think it should replace LFR. Yeah, I just don't think LFR. The
hottest take of the evening.
I don't think there's anything LFR does that I would say is good. Does that make sense? that a follower raid couldn't do better, or normal raid doesn't do better. Follower raid just other than maybe farming a quick 4-piece at the start of a season. But anyways, on to the next question. Trelane has a question for the podcast. For events like Remix, should power scaling your friends to high item levels, skipping the slow peak grind, and getting high level gear quickly be allowed and even encouraged, since it is so time limited? So my answer to this question is yes, but also I don't know. In terms of like, I'm not familiar enough with leveling in Remix. Obviously, I've been leveling, but I'm leveling slowly. Like I'm just taking my time. I'm enjoying things. If there's a way to power level your friends in Remix, like if that exists, yeah, I'm all for doing it. I don't know if there's ever any reason to shame someone for power leveling. Like, do it all the time. It's a temporary event. I want to go play with my friends. I don't want to spend forever trying to level up. With that said, I don't know what that means. If you're like, oh no, dude, we're just slamming dungeons and I've got Giga armor, so we're just going in. I'm getting them leveled up really fast. Cool, that's awesome. I don't like. At the end of the day, my thing is WoW. WoW is an RPG. It's an MMORPG. It's a social game. And if you want to go and party up with your friend and go help your friend out, awesome. The biggest buff you can get in WoW is friends. 100%. There's no bigger buff in World of Warcraft than friends.
That felt weird to say out loud.
But it's true.
There's no bigger buff than friendship.
But it is true, right? Like having allies, right? Like having allies, having people who are fighting alongside you. Like in any fantasy story, that would always be for sure your biggest benefit, right?
Power friendship.
Right? Power friendship. And so the idea that, oh, I'm helping my friend with something, of course, dude. Of course. I'll never have a problem with that. Now I'm also not saying that they should specifically add in the ability for somebody to power level another player. But if there are ways that you can help to speed up that process, absolutely go for it.
With the power of friendship.
Oh my gosh. Gosh. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of the Warband podcast. However, this week at work, I had to goof around a bit for a project, and so I bought a bunch of chicken. You're gonna make fun of me for this, but I needed like a real quick. It was like a one-off goofy thing I was doing, and so I had to like pay for some tokens for like a AI song generator, and so I had a bunch of tokens left over at the end.
That's and weird.
Yeah. But I was goofing with it. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was playing around like some Warband stuff. And dude, it kind of slaps. I sent it to our Patreon listeners to take a listen to, and they're like, "Yo, you got to put this at the end. Put it at the end of this week's podcast episode." So we're gonna say goodbye, but we're gonna leave you with a little gift.
Without further ado.
In taverns of old, where the hearth fires glow, two knights of the realm with tongue sharp as steel, Swaglock the wise with his guides ever true, and Chicken the bold who'll make ye all weal. They gather each week neath the banner of war to spin tales of raids and of dungeons and delves, from Torghast grim halls to the great Sunwell's plateau. Their laughs echo loud, setting Azeroth afire. Oh, hail to the Warband, raise high your horn. Swaglock and Chicken, our guides through the storm. From lore to the loot, they unravel the night. In the Warband we ride, ever bold in the fight. They curse at the add-ons that clutter the screen, debate Shadowlands ghosts and the bands from the blue, pug through the dungeons with fury untamed, and ponder if midnight will ring ever true. With cheesesteaks in hand and a Discord lads, no time gate to fear. With swag and with chicken, the path is made clear. So join in the fray, lads, no time gate to fear. With swag and with chicken, the path is made clear.